Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to Austria for the third part of the first triple header of this 2021 Formula One season. And we've seen so much drama already this weekend here at the Red Bull Ring. I'm actually, you know what, I'm quite excited for this qualifying session. I don't normally get, like, there's just a big feel about it, isn't there? That it's going to be a good one, and obviously we've got Lewis's contract announced. We will get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'm quite excited for this to see what comes from it, to see who comes out on top on it, and who do I think will get pole? I think probably one of the Red Bull drivers will probably take pole. Maybe, I don't know. Will there be a surprise from Lewis Hamilton? Who knows? Who knows what is going to be going on out there in Austria this afternoon? But yeah, by any means, it is exciting. That's for sure. I think we have a good race tomorrow. Looks like we might potentially get some weather problems, but I don't want to say that because we've said that like so many times already, and it's never happened, has it? So yeah, weather problems. I'm not going to jinx anything, and I'm not gonna say anything that I shouldn't really say. But I think the weather is looking a bit iffy tomorrow. Let me just have a look at that weather forecast now.
It's certainly challenging. We have a good race weekend, as I said last week. We have a good.
Yeah, look, weather. Raining here tomorrow, actually. It's not great. It's kind of rainy here now. London. That's London weather for you. Stereo, yeah. There's a 30% chance, or it increases for afternoon. So, well, we might be able to. I'm not sure. We might potentially have a wet race. We'll have to wait and see on that one. On that front.
They're not far away. The championship is still there to be won. So
anyone can still win this championship, can't they? That's what I'm loving about this 2021 Formula One World Championship. Right, we're going to go for a very quick break soon. Let me just. Oh, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. Not prepared.
But it's just a little bit of sort of a reset for Ferrari in many respects.
We're going to go for a very, very quick break. And when we come back, we have Lewis Hamilton's new contract announcement.
Yes, I know Monaco and Baku were sort of those poles, a bit lucky in some regard, but the race pace is brilliant. So the car's very good at looking after its tyres, which is going to be very important for
Hello everyone, welcome back to Austria then. And as we know, we got Chelsea for Timo Werner here this weekend as his team Germany were knocked out. But George Russell coming in his England kit this morning. But will he be driving alongside Lewis Hamilton next year then? That is what we could hear from George Russell right now.
This Saturday again, it was a phenomenal lap for you.
Here's the man that we always refer to as Mr. Saturday.
You get everything you can out of this car. What do you need to transfer that onto a Sunday?
Well, following last weekend, I think we just need a little bit of luck, to be honest. I mean, the last two Grand Prix have been really promising for us. We would have scored points. I was in 8th, I was on the medium tyre, I had Fernando and Stroll just ahead of me on the softs, and unfortunately we had the mechanical failure. So, yeah, such a shame for everyone. It doesn't happen when we last for 2 years, but it happens at one time we're in the points. But whenever we've just had half a chance, there's always been something that went away from us. It almost felt like too good to be true at one point, and then when I got the radio message, I was like, there it was. But that's racing sometimes.
What do you expect from this weekend?
When you are back at the same track for a second week, everything's optimised. Everybody hits the ground running, so there'll be fewer mistakes, and I'm hoping it doesn't push us back down the order, but I have a small feeling it may. But what will be interesting is, I reckon in Q2 this week, a lot of guys will try and qualify on the medium tyre. We saw it in France a couple of weeks ago. Everybody wanted to get through on the medium because everyone was scared of qualifying on the soft and starting on it for Sunday. So that may throw something up in the mix.
The breaking news is that Lewis Hamilton has tested positive for coronavirus and will miss this weekend's Sakir Grand Prix. It is George Russell who drives for Williams. He will drive the Mercedes in place of Lewis Hamilton this weekend.
When you got in the car here and you did so well, there were obviously the usual cries of it's the car. How did that make you feel? Because we've seen people like Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo get into new cars and a different car and really struggle. So do you think you were given the credit for that weekend?
It was really difficult. I wasn't comfortable in the car physically and even just understanding the car. I think I did a good job considering the circumstances, but I was far from the maximum potential I could have achieved because it's a completely different car. The setup, the tyre reaction, the little features on the steering wheel that make you go a little bit faster. So given the circumstances, it was a good job, but I felt like there was still a lot more to come.
Do you feel you've done enough now?
I've said it before, I want to be fighting for victories and world championships. I've worked so hard to get into Formula One, and I didn't work that hard just to be fighting for P15. I'm here to win, and I want to win, and that's what I want to do sooner rather than later. So I'm just doing my best week in, week out. What will come from that, who knows?
How long will you wait for Mercedes?
How long will I wait?
Yeah.
I'm in constant communication with them, obviously, because they look after me, they've looked after me always. They're junior drivers, so and they are sort of in control of my destiny as such, wherever that may be. They've always said, if you do a job, you'll be rewarded. As simple as that.
And are you looking at any other options? Talking to anyone else?
I'll have a Mercedes engine in the back of me next year, no matter what. So, I'm a Mercedes driver, I'm loyal to Mercedes.
Let's have it this Sunday.
Absolutely.
And it's been great, and good luck. Thanks, George.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, it was gutting, wasn't it, for him last time out. But will he get to Mercedes by the end of this season or halfway through this season? I'm not sure. It all depends what Mercedes decide with Valtteri on what to do with him. I think George has got the best chance this year of making that move to the Merc Works team. Williams are not had a car that's made Q3 since the 2018 Italian Grand Prix, but obviously they got, Italy have always been strong in 2017. They actually finished second there in qualifying. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough this weekend for them, I think, because same track, same place, same circuit, same hills of Austria. It's not changed since last week. I think over the 4 days, teams would have found data, they would have found time. Just like Mercedes say, they look a lot more competitive this weekend. I think they do. Maybe they're in contention for pole as well. I don't know. We're going to hear it with Karine Chandok, who's now on the Sky Pad.
Off the season, but it is a tricky circuit. Let's first take a look at turn 3. Lewis Hamilton here. This is something he struggled with all through this weekend, even the last weekend. He takes a slightly different line. He does go in a bit tighter to someone like Max Verstappen, for example. And now watch his hands. He's winding the steering lock on, misses the apex a bit, and he's carrying that lock all the way around, and that compromises his exit. So they will be looking at the driving line as well as car balance for Hamilton there. Down into turn 4, tricky downhill braking zone. This was Charles Leclerc, who managed to get to that apex beautifully well. That's normally the first challenge, or the bigger challenge. But on the way out, watch the left-hand tire. He just gets onto the gravel there, and that compromises his run out of that corner quite heavily. And he managed to get back on track. We've seen other people disappear off into the gravel even more. Yuki Tsunoda had a massive moment. Watch this. As he comes through turn 9, the back of the car just snaps out of line, sends him around. And he was so lucky not to end up in the barrier on the left-hand side. It's quite rare to see someone spin at such high speed and keep it out of that barrier. So well done to him for that. Carlos Sainz, watch him here at the apex of the final corner. Watch his hands as he gets to that inside curve. Big snap of oversteer. That sends him off the track. So as I said, it is a very tricky track. Track limits, a big talking point every time we come to the Red Bull Ring. Turns 9 and 10 are where the stewards are monitoring the track limits. This was Kimi Räikkönen, just ever so slightly running off the track here. But that's enough. The sensor triggers it. And unfortunately for him, that lap was deleted. The same will happen if the drivers do it at turn 10. And we're going to see a few of that. Rachel, what have you got?
Well, Christian, it looks like it's going to be another dominant weekend for what we've seen so far. What are your thoughts on what you've seen from the action we've had already on this track this weekend?
It's been a good weekend so far. It was a good P3. It's getting hotter and hotter, and we don't know how that's going to affect things this afternoon, but I'm sure it's going to be another very tight qualifying.
What kind of mood is Max in? He's looked so calm and relaxed. He's getting more poles than he's got in his whole career before this season. He seems to be in incredible form.
Yeah, he's in great form. He's driving, really in a great ways at harmony with the car, and found a good setup. So, hopefully we can keep this momentum that we started to build, going.
We've heard that Lewis has signed on at Mercedes for another 2 years. How soon will it be before you can confirm your lineup for next year?
Well, Max obviously is on a 3-year agreement, of which this is the first year of. So it's great that Lewis is going to be around for another couple of years. I'm sure there'll be some titanic battles, with him over the next 2.5 years. And regarding the rest of our lineup, it'll happen in due course. So there's no huge rush, but things are becoming clear in our mindset.
Just finally, for me, in that sense, he's doing what you need, Sergio, isn't he, at the moment? I mean, you're leading the constructors. You've got somebody.
He's running third in the Drivers' Championship. He's won a race. He's been on the podium. He's getting stronger and stronger. And I think that as he becomes more comfortable, in the car, in the team, more will follow.
Great, thanks, Christian. Have a good afternoon.
We're going to now chat about Lewis Hamilton's 2-year contract deal. So he's staying with Mercedes until the end of 2023. Did we expect it to come this early in the Formula One season? No, I didn't actually. I did not expect that news to come this morning. But do you know what? It's great. I'm glad to see you staying in Formula One. Hopefully we can have more iconic, enjoyable battles between Verstappen and Lewis. I think I'm really looking forward to now these next 2 years in Formula One, because I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. If we get what we've got for the start of this season, for the next 2 seasons, then bring it on. Whoever wins the championship, just bring it on. I think it's good for Formula One to see him stay. It would mean he'll be 38 when that contract runs out. Will he decide to retire after then? Maybe he might hang his gloves up and say that's enough. But if I'm honest, I don't know. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you? But yeah, does he hang the race suit up at the end of those 2 years? I don't know. Only he knows when he's ready to go. No one else knows. Toto Wolff wouldn't know. Only he knows. But right now, we're going to go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be Austrian Grand Prix qualifying time. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to Austria for the second week in a row. It's time for the Formula One BWT Grand Prix von Österreich then. It's round 9 of the 2021 FIA Formula One World Championship, and it's time for qualifying. Despite its relatively small area, Austria shares borders with more than 8 other countries. Small, but 8 other countries on its borders. At 63.4 meters, the Red Bull Ring is the second highest elevation change of any circuit on this season's calendar. Then let's take a look at the track itself. 4.318 kilometers, 2.683 miles, a top speed of 338.7 kilometers an hour, and 10 turns and a race lap record of 1:056. Carlos Sainz set that in 2020. Turn 1 then 2015, and Verstappen versus Maldonado. Verstappen locked up, went straight on, and Maldonado got through. Turn 3 then, we only have to go back to last week when Pierre Gasly took out Giovinazzi and Latifi. Pierre Gasly didn't finish the end of that one. Back to last week again, then Leclerc and Tsunoda went wheel-to-wheel through turn 4. They went all the way wheel-to-wheel through turn 5 and turn 6 as well then. So we got a step softer compound this weekend with the C5, the C4 and the C3, and we've got the wets and the intermediates if we need them as well. So the soft being the C5, the medium being the C4, and the hard being the C3. The clouds are gathered. It's 25 degrees air temperature then. It's a very, very warm day indeed in Styria. If only it was that warm back here in London. I'm afraid it's very cold at the moment. But Verstappen took pole last weekend, and how great is it to see a full crowd in attendance for the first time at a Formula One Grand Prix weekend since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2019. So it's great to see the fans back. The Orange Army are out in force this weekend in support of Max Verstappen. Obviously, it'll be the Silver Army out in force next time around at Silverstone. But it is fantastic to see the crowd back this weekend, and hopefully we can give them some fantastic action. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an atmosphere like no other at Silverstone in 14 days' time. But anyway, let's turn our focus to Austria right now, where there's about 1 minute and 30 seconds exactly until we get going for the first qualifying session of the afternoon. Don't forget, straight after qualifying, we go straight into W Series this afternoon then. The second race of their season that started last weekend with Alice Powell taking victory. Jamie Chadwick will start from the pole position this afternoon. You can enjoy that straight after we've finished here with Formula One. So softer tyres this weekend might mean we start to see some people try to go into Q3 on that medium tyre to start the medium tyre, or to start the race tomorrow on the medium tyre, rather than last week we saw a lot of teams try to go through on the soft. So we're now going to see what will happen, whether some teams decide to go through on the mediums, who takes what. Will we see Mr. Saturday again? It's all set to be an absolute cracker in Austria this afternoon.
Let's get serious and head down to Corinne Chandok.
Off and properly, Paul, everyone at home, it is baking hot, the Dutch fans. I can literally hear
So it's scorching hot, and the Dutch fans are all cheering, they're all singing, they're all jumping up and down. They look like they're having a great time, and it is fantastic just to see that full crowd back at Austria. We haven't seen scenes like this in a long, long time in a Formula One racetrack. But now the attention turns to the track because we are going for qualifying. It said no, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. It's a rave already, not a party. It's a rave. It might be a party tomorrow afternoon, but it's not at the moment. It is about getting through this qualifying session, and I think that's what everyone is really concerned about. So happy birthday as well, by the way, to Sebastian Vettel, who turns 34 today, the Aston Martin driver. What way to spend your birthday. But so far, everyone's staying sitting tight in the pit lane. George Russell's progressed to Q2 in every qualifying session in 2021. Can he do it again this afternoon? We'll wait and find out.
That's going to be magnificent. It's sandy, that's what I can tell you.
But still, everyone's going to sit tight.
On the beach at Zandvoort, it might be a little more chilly than it is here today. Lando Norris.
Obviously, next time we're around, we try the sprint qualifying method. So we'll be live for qualifying, which will be Friday night. We'll also be back for Saturday sprint qualifying, and then we'll be live coverage of the race as well. So we'll be live 3 times in 3 days, or with the F1 show 4 times in 4 days. Right, we've got a car on track, 2 cars on track. Both Hasses have made it out onto the track, and they're greeted by a wonderful cheer from the crowd this afternoon.
But of course, you need to push the boundaries if you want to take it to the next step. Big battles going on at Aston Martin and Albon.
So the only 2 drivers out on track they are, and it's Mazepin leading Schumacher on circuit at the moment, but they are tied last pretty much in the championship, both on 0 points. I think Schumacher heads Mazepin in the championship by position finishes and finishing higher.
If you were with us in FP2, there was a new rule: you cannot get space from the car whilst you're in corner 9 and corner 10.
Right.
That, which is a pit entry, where you see it fall down the hill because there was a lot.
Mercedes Radio DFA.
Michael, were you happy with the way it operated in P3?
I was generally happy except for those couple of people that slowed right down.
main thing is 9 and 10 fast. Don't get anyone away.
100%. Exactly. It's Ron Meadows, the sporting director.
And Ron Meadows and Mercedes just reminding Michael Massey to tell everyone to make sure they're out of the way when everyone comes through at the turn 9-10 section. That's a new rule. You're not allowed to slow down there now. Mazepin is going to go up towards turn 3 on his flying lap. Actually looked quite neat. It did.
Why a smash door? Well, Kevin Magnussen might have smashed the door at Silverstone a few years ago. And to my knowledge, I'm not sure Gibbs has ever replaced that door. Now he has got
Mazepin. Let's see the time he does as he in sector 2 as he comes towards turn 5 and 6 now.
He's Italian who speaks fluent German and has spent
7-8. Looks alright for Mazepin this lap actually. No mistakes. Stroll ventures out onto the circuit as well. Keeps it within the track limits. Let's see what the time is from Mazepin. A 1:07.6, so quite a lot off the pace of what we've been seeing over the past 2 weeks then. As Verstappen, I think that's Verstappen comes out and he's going to be met by a massive cheer. Schumacher does a 1:06.1, so almost a whole second quicker than his teammate. And here's the cheer then from the Orange Army. They're all standing up in the Verstappen grandstand. He's come out on the soft tyres. And you can just see, and he's going to stop by his fans as well and say a little hello, is he? I don't think you're supposed to do that for too long, so you have to hurry up with it, and he is now. But it is fantastic to see the crowd back as they all rise and cheer for him.
Lewis Hamilton had his last flying lap time deleted, with still having a 4/10 advantage if it stood.
Yeah, that kind of put Hamilton within touching distance and hope that something can happen. And like I say, do not disregard Mercedes.
Don't disregard Mercedes this afternoon as well. They will be up for it. 51.9 degrees is the track temperature. If it rains tomorrow, it's either hot here or it's raining here. It's never in between here at the Red Bull Ring. I think I might have said that last week actually, but it's never in between. Right, Verstappen on the flying lap on the soft tyres then. All nice and tidy through turn 1. Did clip the yellow sausage curb, but that won't cost him a huge amount of time. Both Mercedes now out on the track as well. Sparks flight. 4/10 up on the Haas driver, which is what you kind of expect through the first sector. It looks all neat and tidy so far as he goes towards turn 4. The DRS slams shut. Stroll goes fastest with a 1:05 then. Turn 4 looks all nice and neat towards turn 5 and turn 6. Vettel goes fastest now for 1:05.3. Giovinazzi's gone fastest as Verstappen goes past the Verstappen grandstand through turn 7 and 8 now. And he's going to plunge down the hill towards turn 9 and turn 10 and 11 then. Norris has just gone fastest, but Verstappen has smashed every sector time and goes fastest by half a second. A 1:04.2 for Max Verstappen. What can Charles Leclerc do then? Leclerc towards the line, only third fastest and 7.5 tenths off the pace for the Ferrari driver. Sainz towards the line now, goes second fastest and 3.5 tenths off the pace, but Sergio Perez goes fourth fastest, half a second off. Ricciardo then 7.5 tenths as Hamilton goes all over the bumps towards the line. Hamilton's 2.5 tenths off and goes second fastest. But what will Valtteri Bottas do? Valtteri Bottas towards the line goes third fastest and is 3.14 tenths off then. and Pierre Gasly did go second, has lost his lap time for a track limits violation. Then let's have a look at it. Then did he go off the track? Turn 9 it is. Quite easily went off the track. The Pierre Gasly by quite a long way. So everyone set at that time other than Gasly, Alonso, Russell, Ocon and Latifi. And Sainz done a good time. But Hamilton didn't do a bad time. He was pretty much matching Verstappen other than that first sector he lost a bit of time. And is Hamilton going to go again? No, he's going to come into the pits. So his first qualifying lap, since announcing his contract extension, he's going to have to do a bit more if he wants to get pole this afternoon as they all come back to the pits. Fairly, I don't know what to say. Is it fairly quiet start to qualifying? No, I wouldn't say that, but like fairly easy, isn't it? Well, not easy, but you know what I mean. Like George Russell then coming through the final two corners, or the final few corners, and then he's going to start his flying lap towards through the turn 8-9 section, and then it's going to be 10 and 11. He's going to slow right off the turn 10 though, turn 9 sorry, and then turn 10 and 11. Here he goes then, floors out turn 10 through turn 11 now onto the straight. Let's see what Russell can do. Turn 1 looks tidy for the Williams driver. He's going to blast now up the hill through the kink of turn 2. And he's going to slam those brakes. Turn 3, does it stop? Yes, it does. It looks quite neat. It looks quite tidy. And he's going to DRS open now towards the back straight. Turn 4, hits the apex nicely. And good exit from George Russell. Good lap so far then. Let's see what he does coming out into the second sector through turn 4, turn 5 and turn 6, sorry. It's half a second down on Verstappen's time. Turn 7, 8, and he's going to have a car in the way, is he? But it's a Red Bull Sergio Perez. It keeps nicely out of the way. Turn 9 then. He's within the track limits. Turn 10 and 11 within the track limits once more. Good lap from George Russell. This is looking like. And it's 10th fastest for the Williams driver. Ocon is now going to come over the line. Ocon 14th fastest. Gasly lost time in the middle sector. Only 15th fastest for the Frenchman. Vettel, who was fastest. Stroll goes 13th. Vettel comes towards the line. Goes 9th fastest.
Absolutely. And as you see, Crofty, I mean, that McLaren goes in the first sector. He was very strong there last week. Well within the track limit series.
Alonso goes second fastest. Norris goes second fastest. Now 1:043. Norris goes second fastest, which pushes Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas crucially down to 4th. Norris pretty much matched Verstappen's time. Ricciardo now towards the line. Hamilton's gone again. Ricciardo only 10th fastest then. Perez only 9th fastest. And Perez will have to go again because he's only 9th fastest. And I think Verstappen is going to be sitting tight for the remainder of this Q1 session. And Leclerc's lap time, I think, has just got deleted. Yeah. Hamilton's done a personal best in sector 1. what's his middle sector time going to be? It's 1.5 tenths down, so it's not going to do it for Lewis Hamilton. But Bottas is down as well. Interesting, both Mercedes are deciding to go again. Hamilton towards the line is going to stay 4th fastest. Bottas is down on his whole lap, sector 1 and sector 2 as he comes through turn 10 and turn 11 now towards the line. Valtteri Bottas is going to stay 5th fastest and half a second down on Max Verstappen's pace. 3 tenths off his teammate Lewis Hamilton's pace, and that might just give George Russell another smile to look at.
They'll be scratching heads, unless Ocon's made a mistake that they know about. They'll be scratching heads as to why there's such a massive difference.
That is a promising lap by Fernando Alonso, and he has staked.
So Alpine are in a bit of a situation here because Alonso is 3rd and looking comfortable to go through. Ocon is 17th and is going to have to go again. So they are in a bit of a situation, Alpine. Obviously, Ocon will certainly have to go again. Will they? Looks like they are going to send Alonso out again, actually. So Alonso is going to come out just to be on the safe side. But just under a second was the gap between Esteban and Fernando.
Do certain things a certain way, but I would tell them walk the track twice. It's going to make that much of a difference.
You could be on the podium. Absolutely. We've got our lucky pants on in the commentary box. What about you, Karim Chandler?
I don't have any lucky pants, but I don't want to know what you all look like either. Just quick one on Alonso, you guys are talking about. I think there's more to come, guys. He was complaining about Yuki Tsunoda potentially getting in his way at turn 9 on that lap. So maybe a bit more in the tank for Alonso and Alpine. That bodes well.
I mean, Fernando Alonso has just complained over the radio that Yuki Tsunoda got in his way at the final corner. So maybe more in the tank for Alonso as well then. Maybe he can go faster. Fernando, remember you can join the conversation. Hashtag Austrian Grand Prix. This time, hashtag Austrian Grand Prix.
Standing out somewhat. But some hats, very much the order of the day.
Sun hats today. That is very much the order of the day.
Yeah, we've seen some fashion statements this weekend.
Can I ask you what you want to
A couple of times, just the outfit I thought was very subtle.
And there's an analysis that we've got Fernando Alonso.
So Fernando braking a lot later than Esteban and accelerating at roughly the same time. Gasly saying it's very gusty, so maybe the wind is picking up this afternoon at Styria.
So Esteban, 10 meters later,
2 minutes to go.
We'll give you a bit of a start there. Interesting, he had Gasly on the radio saying that it started to get quite gusty out there. What you don't want is an errant gust at the wrong time for the rest on a qualifying lap, because it can really ruin your potential and ruin your chances as well. Especially if you're in the bottom 5, which is where Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon and Nicholas Latifi find themselves at the moment. You say it's close between Latifi and Russell. Was it 2 1,000ths of a second in Russell's favour last week, with Latifi being edged out again?
This is a big test for the team.
Here we go then. Esteban Ocon starting his flying lap. As he goes up towards turn 1, through turn 1, neat and tidy.
Right, turn 1, Esteban Ocon. We saw on the day.
Turn 2, turn 3, he's a personal best, but he's down on the safety time at the moment then.
He's done for the first sector 16.6, but you have to look at Fernando Alonso, he's going to 16.2 in the first sector.
And Sebastian Vettel was 16.4, Lance Stroll was 16.
Let's have a look then.
Rivals to Alpine and Esteban Ocon.
That's a long way off where his teammate was, but that's where that margin's in there. Where's he ended up here? And that's just for the drop zone, isn't it? That's not the fastest lap time.
Exactly, he's 500s out.
He's 500s down. Ocon in the middle sector. Stroll's down. Gasly is down, unfortunately. as we count down towards the checkered flag. Where is Esteban Ocon going to go? 13th fastest. Not sure that's going to be enough because Stroll 16th now, improved in the middle sector. Gasly's up in the middle sector. Schumacher was up in the first sector, but has gone down a bit. Checkered flag comes out. Stroll goes 10th. Russell's now the driver at risk. Gasly goes 9th. Ocon is Russell is pushed out for the moment. Ocon is on the brink. Schumacher stays where he is. Mazepin and Tsunoda are going to be next to cross the line. Tsunoda's who's 17th. Tsunoda goes 12th fastest. Latifi is 18th. He's coming through. Turn 9 now and turn 10. Through turn 11. Can Nicholas Latifi put Williams in Q2? No, he can't. He stays 18th fastest. George Russell, 12th fastest and goes into Q2. George Russell continues his Mr. Saturday qualifying run, and Esteban Ocon is out, along with Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin all exit Q1. George Russell just scrapes through. 2.5 tenths was the difference. But for Nicholas Latifi then, Kimi Raikkonen 32 thousandths of a second off. Daniel Ricciardo just about scrapes it as well in to Q2. Esteban Ocon out. Fernando Alonso through. We have Q2 when we come back. Hello everyone, welcome back. And Q2, there's a green flag now at the end of the pit lane. And it's Verstappen, I think. He's come out on the mediums, or is it Sergio Perez? I didn't quite see the number on that car, so I'll have a look when I get another shot at it. Let's have a look. I think it might be Sergio Perez. Who came out? I think it is. Yeah, it is Sergio. Yes, it is Perez, definitely. It's just come off on the track map now. So it definitely is Sergio Perez. Then. Here we go. Sergio Perez is going to be the first one who sets the first time in Q2 then. Through turn 9 and turn 10, the final corner then. Perez towards the line. It's going to start. He's flying that. Towards turn 1, he's got the track all to himself. Nice and neat through the first part of the corner then. Towards turn 2. Turn 3 he goes. Slams the brakes. Gets it stopped. Where Max is superb at turn 3. Nails it every time Verstappen goes through there. Down the hill, leans in. The corner bangs slightly as well at turn 4. Through turn 5 and turn 6 now goes Sergio. It looks neat and tidy so far. Gets quite close to the gravel trap on the exit. 7 and 8 then. Looking good so far. Still only the only car out on track. Turn 9. Does he keep it within the track limits? Yes, he does. Turn 10. Final answer. Yes, he does. Towards the line. What's the time going to be? A 1:045. Then. It's 3 tenths better than he managed in Q1. But for me, that is on the edge from Sergio. A 1:045. It's dead the cut-off time, pretty much. The cut-off time is a 1:045. So it is pretty much dead the cut-off time. So he might, I would say, if I was Red Bull, Sergio would have to go again for precautionary reason. He might do a 2-lap run. So he might do an out lap, a hot lap, a slow lap, an out lap, and in lap. Not an out, a hot lap, sorry, then the in lap. So there's Hamilton's record then. First, 7th, second, third. First, 7th, second. And then DNF pretty much, wasn't it? Yeah.
Such a difficult period. It's the anniversary this weekend of the first race weekend of 2020. And since the Austrian Grand Prix of 2020, we have had 26 races in Formula 1 in 52 weeks. It's been a phenomenal effort to keep it going.
Today's the anniversary of the round 1 of last season. Since then, we've had 26 races in 52 weeks. It's been a phenomenal effort from the Formula 1 community. 26 races in 52 weeks. Perez Radio. Right. Now the big guns come out. The both Mercedes and the Red Bull on Max Verstappen. They're all coming out now. And Yuki Tsunoda comes out. Here we go then. The traffic jam begins to form. The world's most expensive traffic jam begins to form. 10 minutes to go then. Here in Q2. As they all back each other up out of the pit lane. And Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen are going to get on with it. And Verstappen and Leclerc are going to go racing at turn 3 at 8. Verstappen just about got it done. No, he didn't. Yeah, now he's getting past Sainz as well. Hamilton leads all of this, by the way. Hamilton's gone. He's well out in front. He doesn't want to give anyone the slipstream, does he? But when he catch them at the end, I don't know. But both Ferraris are currently sitting behind Max Verstappen. As Hamilton starts his flying lap now, then let's see what he does. So a lot of cars coming out on the medium. In fact, the only cars that didn't are Tsunoda, Stroll, Russell, Vettel, Gasly, Giovinazzi, and Alonso. As Hamilton rises through turn 2 and up towards turn 3. Hamilton's done a 16.4. That's only matching Perez in sector 1. Let's see what Verstappen does. Verstappen's 1/10 up already. But Hamilton towards sector 2 is now going to have that traffic to deal with. Turn 6, turn 7. Hamilton's slightly down on Perez's time at the moment then. And he's going to massively get compromised by this traffic. But it does majority get out his way. Verstappen's gone even faster. And Hamilton does go fastest with 1:045. But Verstappen is absolutely flying. But he's lost his fastest first sector. I wonder why. Verstappen through turn 10 towards the line now. A 1:042 for Max Verstappen. Sainz goes for fastest. Bottas towards the line now. Bottas goes for fastest as well. Leclerc goes 6th. Gasly towards the line. Goes for fastest in the AlphaTauri. George Russell now towards the line. George Russell in 13th. He's going to go up to 7th. And Perez, who did set a fastest first sector, is down in the second sector. Vettel goes second fastest. Where did that come from, the German driver? Ricciardo goes 12th. Tsunoda goes 10th. Perez goes third fastest.
But that shows you, if you're just outside the window and you're not operating, you can't have the confidence. And I would think they're going to have to start on that dreaded soft tyre because they're going to have to fit it to get the way through it. Because you can't engineer a P11 start. Well, that's what
So Hamilton's come back to the pits then. Lando Norris has just gone second fastest in the McLaren. Fantastic lap from him.
If they did qualify 11th to 12th, the overtaking pace that Ferrari had from last week, that might not be the worst place ever, but I'm sure they wanted it a bit further.
Yeah, and Hamilton will be nervous. But you go back on the same meter tires if you made a mistake, because that's probably just on the cusp of making it through as well. But George Russell's been pulled to the weight bridge.
Russell Radio.
It's a bit of sarcasm as Williams try and get into Q3 for the first time.
As George Russell said, sorry guys, was that a bit too fast then? As he goes 9th fastest, he did go 7th, but he got bumped down a few places because other drivers going quicker. It's been a while, hasn't it? 5 minutes to go since Williams partaked in the last part of qualifying. Perez, wonder if they sent the set of softs on him, because he's gone out of sync when no one else did go.
I think send him out there, but be prepared to abort the lap should it not need to count. By the way, you'll notice there 0.275 the gap to Max's for Norris and Perez. With Norris and Perez, Lando Norris also on the medium tyre. That's a storming lap by Lando Norris to match the Red Bull on the same tyre compound.
Absolutely solid, and he's delivered again, as he done last week. Outstanding job by him, and you can see the difference between him and Ricardo.
So Norris and Perez have actually set the exact same lap time to 3 decimal places. The exact same lap time to 3 decimal places. Wow. The exact same time. Exactly.
The word is that if you start on the soft tyre, you are pushed very likely towards a two-stop strategy. Under normal conditions, if it's not raining, etc., even though it's going to be a little bit cooler, so safe, the forecasters with all the expert knowledge.
I mean, what would we expect here? You've got to expect a Ferrari to pick on a soft tyre. They're going to get into the top 10. They're going to nudge on there. That's going to make it critical for George Russell. Valtteri Bottas, he's probably going to have to go on a soft tyre as well. He may choose to go to medium.
Right, here we go then. The track temperature has risen to about 52 degrees then.
I think the only one who's going to be confident at this stage and not need to come out will be Max Verstappen. It is all going pretty swimmingly for the championship leader at the moment. But it wouldn't surprise me to see the rest coming out onto the track for one more lap. And there are plenty of cars, as you can see.
Right, here they all go then. I think the only driver who's not going to come out is Max Verstappen. I think everyone else is making their way out the tight pit lane exit onto the track here in Austria. Verstappen's come out, interestingly.
They're going to have to send Perez out. They have sent Perez out. Lewis Hamilton will be at the back of that queue of cars.
And Hamilton, who was at the front last time, is now going to be at the back. So both Ferraris have gone for medium tyres again. So both Mercedes at the moment sitting tight. No, now they're coming out. And they're right at the very, very back of the queue. They've only got Sergio Perez behind them. So everyone is now out on a very, very busy Red Bull ring. The Mercedes back out on the medium tyre.
To remind you, the tyre is one step softer than last week. So the medium tyre that we're seeing at the moment was the soft compound tyre for last week's race. The soft tyre.
So the medium tyre we're seeing at the moment was a soft tyre for last week's race. Because obviously we've gone a step softer this time, haven't we? Right, Fernando Alonso is going to go again. He's going to be the first to start a flying lap then. He rises up the hill towards turn 1. And he's going to be through turn 2, up the hill, braking for turn 3. He's 28 thousandths of a second off the cut-off time then. So it's super tight for Fernando Alonso. 35 seconds left on the clock then. Giovinazzi's up. Alonso's up. Tsunoda is up. Fernando Alonso will have to hope he doesn't catch the car park as what it is now at turn 10, because Alonso is 2 tenths up then. Hopefully the car park, they've all left the car park now. No, and the Aston Martin, who was that? Got in the way, and the stewards will certainly have a look at that. And Alonso, where did he go? Tsunoda goes into the top 10%. Alonso is out. Leclerc goes 9th fastest. Bottas is now driver at risk. So Vettel missed the checkered flag, so it was Vettel. Verstappen goes fastest with a 1:039. Gasly goes 2nd fastest. Leclerc goes 10th fastest. He's driver at risk. Bottas, as it stands, will be out of qualifying. Ricciardo only 13th fastest. He is out. Bottas towards the line. Bottas now 12th. No. Russell goes 9th. Bottas looks to be... Russell was in. Bottas goes 3rd fastest. George Russell is in Q3 for the first time in his Formula One career in a Williams car. And Williams are in Q3 for the first time since the 2018 Italian Grand Prix. Williams have done it, and they are in the final part of qualifying. And they got through on the medium tyre, did Williams. Both Ferraris out, race control. They're going to... let's have a look. So he thoroughly enjoyed that, did Mr. George Russell. Both Ferraris out, and unsurprisingly, the incident between Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel will be investigated after the session. Surely Sebastian Vettel will get a 3-place grid penalty for that. But the fight for pole is right after this small break.
One change happens fast. He's fast.
Hello everyone, we're now back for Q3. I'm just about to put that green flag up. Yes, there it is. We are go. So we got the green flag at the end of the pit lane, and as usual, everyone is going to stay where they are put, and they're all going to come out at once, I'm sure, and we're going to get that car park effect. Like we did just a couple of minutes ago. That incident between Vettel and Alonso, as I said, is under investigation, and it will be investigated after the session by the stewards. Then, as the Mexican wave from the Dutch crowd. Then,
as a Williams driver, it's only the second time Williams have reached Q3 since Felipe Massa retired at the end of 2017 at Lance Stroll. Once in 2018 was the other occasion.
I feel that Aston Martin have missed the trick by not qualifying on the medium tyre, don't you? They've gone through the soft, so that's going to be a painful first stint, you believe, unless you've got some like weather around the name or something. We don't, but it's a trick that Williams have managed to take,
10 minutes to go and still no one has come out, but there's a lot of people in their fancy dress this afternoon. And it's going to be Vettel who comes out first. He's going to have to qualify a little way up, I think, because he's going to have a grid penalty. It wouldn't surprise me if he does. Right, the two Aston Martins come out, but everyone else is going to be sitting tight for a few more minutes or a few more moments.
Don't forget, Carlos Sainz started 12th last time out here, finished 6th
Then,
in the race.
And will George Russell come out in this session? He might decide to stick with 10th. That might be his best option, but if he can get further up the grid, I'm pretty sure he would want to take it. Right, Hamilton's coming out then on a brand new set of softs. He leaves the garage. And they're all going to be coming, they're all venturing. Well, there's about, now Verstappen comes out. Both Red Bulls come out now, so they are all venturing out onto the track now. Bottas has also come out. So Perez is going to try and pick up the toe from Valtteri Bottas, but Hamilton's gone. He has gone up the road. He's shot off, as Lewis Hamilton, and he's left his teammate Valtteri Bottas in the wake of Sergio Perez. Now, Hamilton doesn't want to give Bottas a toe, does he?
That could be the difference between 2 or 3 grid spots around this lap.
Massive, absolutely massive. You can see how they're all spread over the track. There's a little bit of a gap between Bottas and Hamilton, and then Hamilton down to
Gasly radio.
Well, if it is, it's by fractions of a degree. 51 degrees.
51 degrees is the track temperature. It is scorching this afternoon. It's 123 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temperature. So it is a hot day in Styria.
The temperature, you're right, hasn't actually changed a great deal. But what is changing all the time is the wind. I've got these sort of wind indicators, the flags on the top of the grandstand.
I mean, the wind is changing quite a lot. That could be the thing that affects something, couldn't it? The wind. As Hamilton's on his way. We're going to have a look at Verstappen then. Verstappen comes towards the line now. See what Hamilton does in turn 3. He's not set the personal best. He's only done a personal best. He hasn't done a purple. Stroll, he's level with Stroll as only Hamilton. As Stroll's gone fastest, Verstappen now goes fastest with a 16.2. The Red Bull is flying round this place. Let's see what Hamilton does in sector 2. Gasly goes fastest now. Hamilton does do the fastest sector 2, but will Verstappen snatch that away from him? We'll have to wait and see. Verstappen through turn 6 now towards the timing beam. Verstappen, is matching Lewis Hamilton at the moment, but Hamilton's lost his fastest sector 2. Hamilton only second fastest. Norris has gone to provisional pole then. But Verstappen Bottas goes third. Verstappen towards the line. Goes fastest with a 1:037. But Lando Norris, take a bow.
Outstanding, Lando Norris, outstanding on run one. To be P2, lining up provisionally at the moment in front of both Mercedes, Merck's drivers.
He's never qualified on the front row before, Lando Norris. His two best qualifying
Norris Radio.
Very calm. He knows he's taken a lot of curve, and that's maybe where some of his pace has come from as well. In the Styrian Grand Prix last week, and in the Austrian Grand Prix last year, he started third on the grid. At the moment, Lando Norris is on the front row with Max Verstappen, and the two Mercedes occupying places 3 and 4. We've got another run to come, and this is going to be tight.
So we've got another one to come. It's going to be tight. Russell hasn't set a time yet, and he's not out on track either.
23 years of age and 21 years of age, Verstappen and Norris. I'm trying to think back to when Lance Stroll got on the front row in Monza. He was the second youngest to get on the front row. Verstappen, the youngest to get on the front row. I'd have to check my birthdays on that one.
Anyway, both of them together, still not like you.
Quite. Yeah, 10 years. 10 years I've got on them both added together. Kareem, to you.
And I'll tell you what, guys, if Norris does get on the front row, he will do Red Bull a great favour because McLaren have got fantastic straight line speed. That's why he's quickest in Sector 1, 5k quicker than the Mercedes. That could be a real problem for Hamilton and Bottas to try and pass him in the race tomorrow.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely right. What a racing prospect. Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton and Bottas, the top four. Perez in fifth.
So far we stand Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Bottas, Perez, Gasly, Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll and George Russell. What a race prospect we could have tomorrow.
The youngest front row ever, Austria, 2019. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc at 21 years and 265 days. So it wouldn't be the youngest front row ever, but it wouldn't be the oldest. It wouldn't miss out by much.
We would have expected a McLaren on the front row this morning, though, would we?
No.
Even this year.
Not at all.
Valtteri Bottas, he's in a good position here, Crofty. He's got a couple of tenths to find in the last sector, but crucially, he did the best mid-sector, which is the difficult part of the lap to achieve. He was the quickest of anybody there. And if he can just edge it a little bit in the first sector, we know he delivered in Q3 right at the end last
Right
week.
then.
Don't forget as well, as we look into the Aston Martin garage, Sebastian Vettel and his parts in the move that slowed down Fernando Alonso and his final flying lap in Q2 will be investigated after the session. It is, it's not without the realms of possibility that Sebastian Vettel could get a penalty for that.
Track temperatures dropped another little bit, Crofty. We're down
Track temperatures dropped another little bit as we are about, well in fact they're all going to come out now for the final run then in this qualifying session in Austria. And the final qualifying run in Austria over the double header that we've had here.
Red Bull have only had 9 holes. They are looking a very good bet for a 10th hole in the turbo hybrid era as it stands at the moment. But what's have not just Mercedes, but Lando Norris as well.
What have Mercedes and Lando Norris maybe got up their sleeve to challenge Verstappen to a pole position this afternoon? 2 minutes to go then.
So maybe Lando Norris needed to come up behind the two Mercedes, but he's out on the track behind Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez.
So Lando Norris out on the track behind Max Verstappen, and it's the two Mercedes, the Aston Martin of Stroll, I think, and Sergio Perez who come out last. Everyone coming out on a brand new set of soft tyres, including Mr. George Russell. No, it's George Russell who's come out last week. Hamilton Radio. Hamilton checking he's good for times. He's saying there's a lot of cars there. He's been told he is good for time. He wants to preserve those tyres as much as he can for his flying lap. Norris could get a tow here from Verstappen. Verstappen through turn 10 now, and Lando Norris through turn 10. Verstappen towards Norris towards the line. Verstappen's gone over the line and is heading through turn 1. Norris heading through turn 1 now as well. Verstappen rising up to turn 2. Verstappen's down then. But what is Norris going to do? Norris has gone fastest in sector 1 then. Norris goes fastest. Verstappen down then. But let's see what the two Mercedes manage on their laps. This is getting close now. Norris is finding pace in that McLaren. Verstappen then. This is where Red Bull have been mighty, but Verstappen is still down. Lando Norris is 11 thousandths of a second down then. It's dead. It's a dead tie at the moment through the middle sector. Verstappen towards the line doesn't improve his time. Lando Norris towards the line. Norris towards the line. Stays second fastest. Misses out. Perez towards the line now. Goes third fastest. What can the two Mercedes do? Hamilton is down on his time at the moment. Hamilton and Bottas not making the improvements then. As the checkered flag comes out. It might be the two Mercedes 4 and 5. Hamilton towards the last corner. He's going to stay 4th fastest. And it's only 4th and 5th for the two Mercedes. And the Dutch fans absolutely love it. As George Russell goes 9th. Verstappen on pole. Lando Norris is on the front row for the Austrian Grand Prix. From Perez, from Hamilton, from Bottas, from Gasly, from Tsunoda, from Vettel, from Russell and from Stroll. Mercedes have got a lot of work to do tomorrow. But it cannot have possibly have gone any better for Red Bull this afternoon and Lando Norris, who will start on the front row. And he was about 4/100ths of a second from bagging his first pole in the bag. Right, we're going to go now because we've got W Series on track next. But we will see you tomorrow when Formula One